Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Daffy's Roundtable, episode 99 of Daffy's Roundtable. Today, I'm excited to be joined by my good friend, the one, the only, Trish Wickens. In this episode, Trish and I dive into what it takes to manage a large reptile room while juggling life as a mom of 3 young boys. We chat about how she balances family life with reptile care, and then we dive into some of the awesome breeding projects that are happening over at the Wickens household. But before we do that, allow me to thank Exoterra for sponsoring this podcast and making this episode possible. Exoterra makes quality products for our pet reptiles to make them feel at home. Also, before we dive into the episode, this is episode 99, which means next week, February 13, I will be releasing episode 100. So as usual, the episode will come out Thursday morning, and then Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live to celebrate 100 episodes of Daffy's Roundtable. Please do join us. There will be some special guests popping in and out of the live, and there will be giveaways. Daffy's Reptiles giveaways, Exoterra giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please join us, celebrate 100 episodes with us. And without further ado, everybody, please help me welcome the one, the only, Trish Wickens. Trish, hello!
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for joining me. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a busy day, but we are here. We're excited.
Yes. We are very excited. This is going to be an awesome episode. I have quite a bit to ask you, and I'm sure it's been a busy day. I feel like your days are just always busy now.
They just blend sometimes.
Yeah. But we'll break all of that down on why you're so busy and what's been going on and all of that. But we're going to start at the very top. But I apologize, Trish. Just before we do start, I just want to give like a bit of an apology to the audience, to everyone that's been listening week in and week out. I have noticed that my internet has been horrible. I do apologize. I am fighting with Rogers. We are going to get this issue fixed. Hopefully it has been fixed and I am not lagging today, but I do know that I've been lagging for the past couple of episodes and I do really apologize. Anyway, it's Roger's fault, not mine, I promise. Now back to the important part of today's conversation. Hello, Trish.
Hello.
Okay, so let's start from the very, very beginning. How did Trish, I was going to say Trish Wickens, but not Trish Wickens. How did Trish, before becoming Trish Wickens, get into reptile keeping?
Okay, so this one, my brother is always the topic of conversation because he always had snakes when we were growing up. Like we would always catch snakes and out at my dad's and stuff. So my brother is really kind of the one that really actually got me into reptiles. Like he was the one that when he first moved out, he was able to get whatever he wanted because my mom was not really a big fan of all that stuff. So now it's funny when she comes over, she's like, like every single turn that she takes is something, right? So, but yeah, so my brother was the one that kind of got me into everything.
Nice.
So he had like ball pythons and corn snakes and stuff like that, like just like the starter kind of snakes. I think he had a hog nose, but I don't want to assume, but I think he did. But
Cool.
yeah, so that's what really kind of got me into the niche, I guess you could say. So yeah.
Nice. So you've been keeping reptiles for a while then?
Yes. So before I met Adam, I had crested geckos and ball pythons and stuff. But I think I started around like 8 or 9 years ago when I got my first crested gecko. So my early 20s, late teens, early 20s.
Nice.
And then, just kind of, my collection was not as big as this is, what we're looking at here. But I had a fun little starter collection. And then it has very much expanded since then.
Yeah. So first of all, I feel like just because of where you are, you kind of need to do the I'm Adam, this is Diamond, and no, I'm just kidding.
Okay. If you want to get it, I'll get on to the
whole intro. Yeah.
Top 5.
So did when you did I guess move in or marry Adam, did he get the whole package? Did the crested geckos and the ball pythons come too?
Yes, so I brought my crested gecko Rocco. I brought my ball python fettuccine.
Nice, I like the
my
names.
leopard gecko Sunny, and then I had a frog. And I feel like I always forget one, but I might be wrong.
Cool.
I think I'm good. I think
That's
that's it.
okay. The unimportant child. We all have
And
them.
Russ, of course, but
Of course. Yes, yes. Rusty Bussy.
Rusty Bus is
The
the
what's his job? What's his reptile room
head
supervisor
of
now?
security. Head
Head
of
of security.
security.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
I need to get myself a head of security for downstairs just to keep me
Yeah.
entertained while I do the
Yeah.
reptile room stuff. No, cool. Okay, so do you feel like there is a big difference in caring for the couple that you had before and versus everything that you have now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my day literally is scheduled around my reptile work now. So before it was just like, okay, like I'm bored. I'm just going to go do reptile stuff, whatever, spray down the enclosures. Now it's like my job every day is to come down and take care of everybody, which I love. Like it is, there's nothing, no part of me that is like, oh, I got to do reptile work. Cause I'm like, it just makes me, it's so much fun. So yeah, now it's like, okay, Alfie's sleeping or he's chill and he's sitting in his chair. So now I can, or the kids or whatever, like even the kids help me with like the dishing out of the worms and mixing the rupashi and whatever else. But yeah, it's very much a schedule the rest of my day around the reptile work.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And we started this episode with saying you are busy, you are very busy all the time, and of course you have kids, which
Mhm.
of course can throw everything out of balance. So how do you find, you just said you're kind of scheduling everything around reptiles, around the reptile work that you need to do, but how do you find kind of keeping it in balance between having the boys and doing all the reptile chores?
It is a lot. There's a lot on my plate daily because like the kids are unpredictable. The reptile work is always going to be there. But the kids like temper and their naps and everything else is kind of unpredictable. So it's it's kind of hard to schedule, like my time with the kids, time with the reptiles, and all kind of fit it in like that little gap of what we have during the day. So it's it's chaos, but it's fun, and the boys love doing reptile work with me. So it's not as bad as it could be, which is nice. But yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. So a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights.
yes, all the
Yes,
time.
I'm sure. Plus, you have the boys and Adam to take care of. I mean, I can't
And
imagine
he's
just the
the
amount of
most
work.
needy of all of them.
I bet.
Yeah.
So on the topic of Adam, of course, Adam has a big following, and you are now Mrs. Wickens. Was
Mhm.
there a bit of pressure coming into this, like into the relationship of like, I have to put up with, not put up with, that's the wrong way to put it, but he has all
Yeah,
these
no.
followers, is like now they see me with him. Like, was there a bit of a pressure getting into the relationship because of that?
Okay, so at the beginning, I didn't really like think about it because like how I saw him was completely different from how the reptile community and like everybody else saw him. Like they're fangirling over him constantly.
Of
Whereas
course.
when I saw him, I was just like, this guy's handsome. Like, you know, I'm gonna marry him one day, and here I am.
Nice. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
Subtle flex.
yeah. But yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot to kind of work around. I actually had somebody message me today and say, hey, I met you and your husband in September and I just completely ignored you. I just want to apologize. Like I still think about it kind of thing. And I was like, that's such like a sweet thing to say because when I go to these shows with him, like everybody comes up to him, right? But not everybody like which 100% I do not care, but not everybody even like sees me. They don't even acknowledge me. I could be holding his hand and they're like, oh my gosh, Adam Wickens. And I'm just like, okay, go do your thing, like whatever, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like coming into it when we first started dating, not really. But then when we first started like going to expos and stuff, it was like, oh, like I need to kind of make sure that he's having his time with like his fans and whatever else. And now I'm just kind of like his like right hand man, where like if I see fans and they're like, oh my gosh, Adam, I'm like I tap him on the shoulder. I like, well, you saw at the expo,
I
and I
I
just
was
like
about to
I
say
give
I
him the
saw it.
look. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kind of like did like one of those.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he's like, oh, okay, like drops conversation with his friends or whatever, and then he just goes on to the fans. So it's nice. It's
Yeah. I don't want to use the term handler, but I remember there was
yeah,
some story of like some celebrity and his security guard like
in
taps him
Canada.
on the shoulders, and he moves on to the next person and taps on his
Yeah.
shoulder to move on to the next person. And the move I saw you do at the expo this week killed me because it kind of reminded me of that. We were like, I think I was the one talking to Adam, or maybe he was buying plants and I was standing next to him or something. And the fans started lingering behind him, and you kind of just popped in and you were like, go do your job.
Yeah. I just
and,
didn't look. I don't even have to say anything, which is nice because like we're on that like kind of same wavelength, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
where
yeah.
I'm just like, hey, like I give him like the little eyebrow twitch.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, I gotta go. Like
Yeah.
even at the expo this weekend, somebody was like, we were walking away, we were kind of separating. But I always kind of like look back because sometimes people are too afraid to take pictures. Like they're just too shy, right? So I
Yeah.
kind of always like, it's like almost habit now where I just kind of like turn back and I look and I'm like, oh, they want a picture. So I'm like, did you guys want a picture? And they're like, oh my gosh, like, yes, we didn't want to ask, but like, thank you for like acknowledging that. So I'm like, come on back, drag you back to, get some pictures with the fans. So yeah.
No, it's awesome. There's also another. I keep bringing up like other people to do these kind of things, but I think it was Casey Neistat that once said he'll immediately bring it up in a conversation with people because everyone's too shy. Usually that's what they want, but they're too shy to like be like, hey, can I picture? So they'll chat for a while, trying to kind of ease into it, and it's like you want the picture, just take the picture.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And Adam does not mind. I mean,
no.
I'm not assuming. I know for a fact that he doesn't mind. And
exactly,
you know this
right?
as well. Yeah. So on that note of expos, obviously you've been coming to a lot of the expos as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite thing about coming to expos or doing
I'm
expos?
you guys, it's so much fun. It's so nice because I feel like we don't get to hang out as much as we'd like to. And being at the expos, we're all kind of like thinking about the same things, like, oh, like what's the most exciting thing at the expo or like whatever. But
What do you want to see?
Exactly, right? Yeah, like are you here for something or are you just like kind of window shopping or like impulsive buying that you have like the stuff at home ready, but you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
But yeah, that and seeing things that we don't have in our collection. So like I didn't see any mossy frogs this weekend and I wanted to because I want some mossy frogs for upstairs in the one paludarium, but
nice.
So I didn't really get a chance to look. I didn't have Alfie. Usually I wear Alfie when I do the expos, right?
Yes.
But I didn't wear him yesterday. So I was like kind of in the way of everybody. I didn't want to be in the way. I'm like, I see this stuff all the time. Like I don't want to take up other people's opportunity.
You mean with a stroller?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I should have worn him, but just seeing like all the different reptiles that like we don't have.
Yeah.
So that's like probably one of my favorite things. Like we don't really have tortoises. Like we've got like the redfoots, but like they're not like, the tiny little ones that you see, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just fun seeing the things that you don't keep. And I feel like everybody at the expo is like that because most people don't have any of those things. And they're getting like a crested gecko or like a leopard gecko or something, like something that everybody has kind of thing. But like here, it's like we have our own little zoo. Yes. And I'm lucky enough that I get to see all of this all the time. So
yeah. And so because you have your own little zoo, does going to the expo do you feel like it's a bit more of a temptation of like, well, we have the space, what's one more? I could pick something. Do you kind of get that feeling as well? Because I know I do.
Yes. So I'm a lot better with it than Adam is. Because I feel like I'm the one that takes care of them the most, right? So I'm like constantly down. I'm like, oh, we have space like in this one enclosure. This one enclosure is free. This enclosure is free. But Adam's like, I want this, and I'm like, where are we gonna put it? And he's like, we have a spot, and I'm like, where exactly?
We'll figure it out.
Would you like to show me that spot because like I know where everything is. But yeah, so he got his Fiji yesterday.
Nice. Are we allowed to say that here? I was going to ask you this.
He did a video on it today. Like we recorded a video on it today, and that's going to be coming out next week. So I don't know when this is coming out.
This will be after next week. So
so we're good.
We're good. Perfect. Yeah.
No surprises here. No spoiler alerts here.
Perfect. So yeah, the new Fiji. Are you excited about that?
Honestly, yes. And it's funny because the guy that he got it from, he was like coming up to us. I think it was at the September. No, it was before that. It was before Alfie. So maybe like the August show.
Cool.
I think it was the August show or September show. Yeah. Anyways, so he came up to us and he was talking to Adam about Fiji's because of Frankie. And he's like, yeah, man, like they're amazing, this and this. Because Greg beneath the canopy, He
Yeah.
had his for sale.
Yeah.
So that was at that expo. So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna bite the bullet, I'm gonna go buy it. And we're like, are you for real? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get it right now. So he literally went and bought it. And then he shows up to the expo yesterday to do the exchange with Adam. And I'm like, you literally bought this a few expos ago. Like, what are you doing? Kind of thing. And he's like, it just wasn't for me. Like, Adam was like, I don't remember him. Like, I mean, he sees how many people every expo that come up to him as
For
fans,
sure.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I usually remember almost all the fans. And now that we go to the expos too, side note, like I'll say hi to all his fans and he's like, oh, they remember me. That's so cute. But yeah, so yesterday when he got the Fiji, it was just like another fun thing to add to our collection. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so, are there potentially, I know the one you got is a male, are there plans to get a female and kind of go down that path? Because you guys have a pair of Tongas now.
yes,
You have
we
a male
do. So
Fiji.
yeah.
What's the
So now
plan?
we're waiting though because everybody wants to sell them as pairs. So it's
Okay.
hard to find a female that's just on her own
Yeah.
that we can like that we can adopt or purchase or however you want to word it. But it is in the future breeding plans to have a female. So now that we have a girlfriend for Frank, we just have to wait for her to get a little older. Probably within the next year or two, we're gonna start breeding them. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
hopefully by then the other projects can catch up as well. So
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, cool. So we kind of discussed the path, the trajectory of Trish becoming Trish Wickens, all of that kind of stuff. Let's get down to what everybody's here for, what everyone's always here for. Let's talk about the actual reptiles.
yeah,
So we kind of just hinted at, you are planning to breed the Tongas at some point. Fingers crossed, you'll find the female for the
yeah.
Fiji and you will breed that. What are the breeding plans for this year?
So this year we actually just paired up all of our hognoses.
Nice.
Hognoses? Hognose?
Hognose.
Hognose?
That's a
Anyway,
good.
so
That's actually a very good point. I have no idea
yeah,
what the plural is.
yeah. Is it, oh, I don't know if you can hear the misting system. Is it loud?
No, you're good.
Okay. And then we have our corn snakes that we just paired. We have our jungle carpets that we've paired.
Nice.
And then I think we're gonna do some fat tail geckos.
Nice.
I think he wants me to pair them up tomorrow, I think. So I think we talked about that earlier. But yeah, so we're not doing leopard geckos anymore because
That's
they're kind
interesting.
of oversaturated in the industry, I feel. And we still have babies from last year that we haven't sold yet. Kind of my fault because I haven't posted them. I've taken pictures of all of them, but I
If
haven't
you guys
posted
are
them.
listening and looking for leopard geckos, you heard it there first. They do have leopard geckos for sale.
We do. We have so many of them.
Cool. Yeah, that's
But
interesting
yeah,
because I think as long as I've known Adam, I believe I could be wrong, but I think he's been pairing leopard geckos almost every year for a while
yeah,
now. So
like
it's
that's what he started out doing was leopard geckos. So
yeah. So out of all those breeding projects, what is your personal favorite?
oh, the hognose I do love, but the carpets I'm very excited for. Carpets are like probably my favorite out of all of our like our collection. Oh, and the emeralds. The emeralds.
Yeah,
I
are
forgot about the
those
emeralds.
are they ready to
So our male just passed away from upstairs, the two younger ones, but
yeah.
our two bigger ones that we have are, I don't think they've locked yet. We did think that she was like pregnant or gravid, I guess. I think is it pregnant because they do live birth? Would it be pregnant
You know
instead
what?
of
That's a
gravid?
that's a great question. I say gravid for live birth as well, or yeah. You know what? Anybody listening, correct us. I'm not
I
sure what
think
the
she's
correct
pregnant
term.
because gravid is eggs, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
pregnant, so
Yeah.
we thought she was pregnant, but she just took a huge poop instead. A little
Okay.
disappointing. um, but yeah, so I think the carpets I am most excited for. We did have, when we first got them last year, I think we've had them for a year now. When we first got them, we had them in the same enclosure for quarantine and stuff.
We're talking about
And
the
they
carpets,
locked.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So they locked immediately. So when we put them in the enclosure, they were already locked. We're like, let's see where this goes. And then she did produce a clutch, or is it a clutch?
Yes.
Yes, a clutch. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm like,
That one. Yes. Yes. Yes.
so she did produce a clutch, but none of the eggs hatched. Like they
Cool.
all just kind of went bad. So I'm hoping this round everything is okay and it kind of works out. Maybe it was just like a bad batch or something. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping that that's the case, that it works out. I'm gonna be really excited if we've got little baby carpets running around.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are successful. I would love to see a little bit of little baby carpets. I'm not gonna lie. I asked you that question, like, what is your favorite breeding project out of them? Already knowing that you were gonna say carpets, I just wanted you
Yeah,
to say it so we could talk about carpets because I'm also obsessed with carpets. I recently got a female as well, which you know, but
yeah.
she's not ready yet. I
She's
probably
still
will
young,
wait another
right?
year. Yeah, she's still a little bit
Yeah,
young, so I probably have to wait another year. But I am very excited to see baby carpets. So I hope you guys are successful so I can live through you for now.
yeah.
So did you ever incubate those eggs last year or did they kind of just go bad straight off the bat?
No, so we incubated them. Actually, we didn't even realize that she was gravid until we just went down to, give her a feeding, whatever it was, check on the animals. And she was just laying on a thing of eggs. And
Bad
we're like,
eggs.
what is
Awesome.
happening? Yeah, so we did incubate them, but none of them took.
Yeah.
So
Could be a first batch
that's
or
what I was
whatever it
thinking was
is.
the first
Yeah.
batch. Because usually the first is like none of them are,
Not the greatest.
yes.
She's
Yeah.
still learning. She's
So
still learning. Not that
exactly.
not
Yeah.
that she's actually doing any work once she's laid the eggs,
Her
but
her body is still learning.
her body's still learning. There we go. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Let's jump back quickly to the emeralds. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but are they, because there's I think you guys have basins and then a different type or something like
So we
that.
don't have any basins because the basins are like the more friendly ones.
Okay,
They're
cool.
also way more expensive.
Right.
So the
Okay.
ones that Adam got were, I don't know if I should even talk about the price, but they were a lot cheaper. I think the basins were like 10 grand is what they wanted for them.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. 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 That makes
Yeah.
sense. So what are the
So
ones you guys have?
we have that's a great question. I want to say it, but I feel like
Surinams.
somebody, yeah, I was gonna say surnames. I was like, somebody's gonna roast me in the fucking comments. Oh, did I swear?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. I think you guys. I thought you had two different types, but maybe all the ones you had were Surinams.
Yeah, so I think these are northerns.
Okay, I don't know enough about emerald tree boas
I
to. Yeah.
I feel like that might not be wrong. That might be
Okay.
wrong. But anyways,
Okay.
these ones that we have downstairs in the reptile room 2 are different than the ones that we have upstairs. So the ones that we have upstairs have more of like a green belly and same amount of white kind of, but the ones down here have like bright yellow, like bright yellow.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So the only reason I really asked that is because I was wondering if you could pair the other female to like just make them a trio, but I guess
Yeah.
that's not in the cards if they're
So
different.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can like crossbreed them. I'm not actually sure, but I know Adam would know the answer.
Yes. Yes. That's
But
fine.
either
That's
way,
fine.
like, even if you could, she's too young. The one upstairs is too young still.
Okay.
She's
Cool.
like maybe a third of the size of the other ones.
Cool. So you still have time to
So
find another female.
yeah, a male.
Cool. Another. Sorry. A male.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. A male
yeah,
for the female.
yeah, exactly.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, we spoke to the person that we got them from last time, and he said that he's got possibly more that he's gonna be selling. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I do want more people. I don't know much about them, but they are a gorgeous snake, and I really hope more people start to work with them. And we
yeah,
have. They're just. I guess what I'm trying to say is I do hope that they are more available in the hobby for people to keep them. I don't know how
yeah.
they are as pets, but
They're a little crazy.
yeah.
Like they're chill. They don't strike at the glass or anything, but they're not really like it's not suggested that you handle them.
Right.
Like
Okay.
the
Yeah.
male that we had upstairs, because he was sick, I was able to handle him like constantly. And especially near the end, I think it was like a week before he passed away or so. I was like free handling him basically. Like I
Cool.
didn't have to go in with anything like crazy. Like I think there was like 2 feedings before that where I was kind of like, but I did try to actually like handle him, and I was like, maybe this is a little sketchy because the teeth on them are not to
Yeah.
be played
Messed
with,
with. Yeah,
really.
yeah.
So
I've
yeah,
seen pictures of like the skull of them.
yes,
Those are some
insane.
crazy teeth.
Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
we actually have one of the male, his one tooth came out when you like chomp down, and you like chomp down on the tongs when we were feeding him the
Oh,
one
okay. I
time.
thought on one of you guys. Okay, cool.
No, no, oh my gosh, imagine. They're
Yeah.
like so small still, and their teeth are uh, like big.
Big. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Anyway, regardless, maybe as a look but don't touch pet, they are very very cool,
Yes,
and I
they're
do.
really pretty.
Yeah, I would like to see them more frequently. I went to me and Danielle went to the Montreal Biodome a couple of months ago, and there was this like giant vivarium. Whoops! There's this giant vivarium with emerald tree boas in it and dart frogs on the bottom. And I
Nice. That's
probably
what we're gonna
spent.
be doing.
That's what I was gonna say. So I
Yeah,
believe that doing this. Actually, the vivarium in the biodome was smaller than what's behind you. So
really.
yeah, so it really is. I don't know too much about like cohabiting and stuff like that, but I
Mhm.
think if I was going to do it, those would be like they're such compatible. They feel like such compatible species to go together.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the
We've
specifics or
got-
anything, but it's so cool.
Yeah. We've got a chondro, right?
I do. Yes, let's call it a chondro for now. We maybe have a couple more on the
Um,
way.
oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I very much have fallen in love with this species, and I think we both have, and
Mhm.
I think we're gonna try our hands. So we have 4 more coming in. In I don't know if I've announced this on the podcast or not yet, but yeah,
Surprise.
so surprise everyone. I think they come in April, and they're
That's
all babies, so
crazy.
we're probably gonna be waiting like at least 4 years to actually be breeding them.
Yeah.
But
But at
I
least you
am
can
very
have them
excited.
like handleable by then, right?
That's the hope. The Toast, the one that we already have, is like, I mean, she's still tiny, so there's not really a worry of being
Yeah.
bit. Not that I'm worried about being bit, but like, there's not really that worry. But she's already like, you can go in, pick her up, put her on your finger. Like she's cool with
Nice.
it.
Oh,
So
you should do like a picture of her just kind of wrapped around your finger like
I
this.
tried. I tried. It's very hard to get snakes to pose in the way you want them to.
It, yeah.
Yeah,
I have good luck with ours, to be honest. Even like
yeah,
the one picture, I took a picture of like our baby crested gecko that I was like, just I took him out of the enclosure and I was like, he's so cute. Look how little he is. And I put him on my finger and he like curled around my finger perfectly.
yeah,
The amount of shares that that picture got on Instagram was insane.
yeah.
I was
You're
not expecting it.
you're putting out some pretty cool stuff on Instagram. Your
Thank you.
content is very cool. The one you put out today of the
The
baby
hognose.
hognose and the giant one, very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've seen hognoses before, right? Like I've seen adults and I've seen babies, but seeing the comparison within like the same like 30 seconds
In the same
is
frame is
it,
insane.
it's insane. It really is.
Yeah.
It really gives perspective.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was going to use the mother to that one, which is Tango. The one that I used was Ruby, even though I told somebody on Instagram that it was Ekans. I should probably fix that. But um, she was locked with one of the males. So I was like, well, I'll leave you to do your thing and I'll use somebody else.
Yeah, that's cool.
'Cause
So
I
they're
thought it would have
locking
been,
already.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So I thought it was going to be perfect if I had like the same colors, like both the albinos.
Yeah.
But like whatever. It's still really I love the coloring of Ruby though. She's stunning.
Yeah, and now you
She's
can
really
redo the reel
beautiful.
with the same colors at some point later in the
Yeah,
future.
exactly.
That's cool
I
though.
have a bunch
So
of real ideas in my head that I have to do so I
do
can share. Yeah.
that's always the hardest part. Actually
Mhm.
getting the content done.
Yes.
So sorry, so you said the hognose are locked,
Yes.
so they're already locking.
So we have 3 pairs that are already locked.
That's awesome.
That have already locked. Yeah.
And do you know how much
So
you'd be expecting like egg wise from each pair?
I mean last season we did not do good at all. So
Okay.
last season I think we hatched only 2 out of like however many eggs. I don't even know how many we got, but only one like survived, and that was the one that I took the reel with today.
Right. So
Yeah,
hopefully a better season this year.
hopefully, yeah, because they're so fucking cute. They're so fun too. They're
Yeah.
so much fun to play with.
Yeah. I've never kept hognose. I don't really. I think they're adorable, but not my snake. Not my snake. I like the pythons more, I think.
I like
Um,
them. I feel like they're like a lazy eater. Like when I go to feed them, they just like open their mouth and they eat. They don't like strike. They just kind of like
yeah,
they're
there's
so
no like.
gentle. They're so like so sweet. It's so funny.
And do you think that makes them like a more reasonable pet for some people?
I think sometimes, but hognose also are like they can be defensive. Like especially if they're not like really handled all that much. Like when I go to open some of the enclosures and feed them, they're like ready to like attack. I'm like,
Pass
okay,
out.
chill it out a
Yeah.
little bit. I have something for you.
Yeah. I come
But
bearing
yeah,
gifts.
exactly right. Yeah, I am a friend.
Yes, yes. So I've seen videos of this, but I've never actually seen it in person. Again, I've never kept hognose, so I can't actually, I don't have much of a sample size to judge by. But do they actually play dead that frequently? Like, have you seen it in person?
So not as frequent as people think. I think it's more of like in the wild they do that, like out in wherever they're whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but like the ones that we have, I've seen one do it like half play dead. He just kind of like stepped back and like put his head up like this and like stuck his tongue out, and I was like, "You're faking. Like I already saw you moving. Like don't even try me, you know." So
Yeah. So but you have seen it, like you have seen them do it.
yeah, so the one did it like a little bit, but not enough to be like not enough to get a video out of it,
Okay,
make
cool.
it
And
funny.
how and how long? Yes, not enough for content.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So how long was it like flipped on its back before it was like, okay, screw this, I'm flipping back?
Oh, like right away.
No,
He was
okay,
just
cool.
like, nah, I'm just joking.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, psych. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, cool. So jumping off of that, what's your kind of like day to day like? You said you planned your day around the reptile room. Like, what are some of the daily things that you have to do? Is there like a checklist of things that you like? I gotta do. I gotta cross these off
mentally,
every day. Mentally, yes.
mentally,
Okay.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
mentally, yes. So I have like on certain days I'll do like the rapace and the bluey buffet. And like every day I'll do the herbivores. So I'll make them like the fancy salads that I make them.
Yeah.
And then crickets and worms are separate days. And then rats are like once a week. So like I'll do like a rat charcuterie.
Yeah.
And I haven't really posted it because people are like, ew, like some people just they don't love it, which is
Yeah.
fine. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So I try not to like post like that or like feeding videos. But I do have some content that I would like to post that is in that area.
Like snake feeding videos, kind
Yeah.
of.
But
Yeah,
I just feel like not
yeah.
everybody loves it.
It's a big dilemma for me too. I started
Mhm.
off kind of like on the same page of like, I don't want to post this. It annoys some people. It maybe like to a certain extent gives people outside of the hobby maybe a bad look of the hobby. And
Yeah.
so for like however long I've been doing this, is like 6 7 years, I have never posted a feeding video of snakes. I'm slowly starting to change my mind. I haven't committed to doing it yet, but I don't know. I just my dilemma is it's very cool
Yeah.
and it's such a big part of the hobby that I feel like it is something important to show too.
Mhm.
And it's not like we're feeding live, like we're feeding
Yeah.
frozen, so it's like I don't know, but yeah, it's a big dilemma I have as well. I have some pretty cool snake feeding videos as well. I just don't know if
You
I'm gonna
should
share
send
them
them
or
to
not.
me so I can watch them.
I will send them to you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I feel like yeah, like you said, like feeding alive would be completely different. Like I would
yeah,
not ever want to post that. We had one snake, it was one of our snakes, he just did not want to eat frozen thawed. He was just like so annoying because
yeah,
every week I would pull something for him and he would just refuse it. So I'd have to feed it to the garbage disposal
Yeah.
snakes
Yeah. Yeah.
would
Yeah.
just eat everything constantly.
Yeah.
But so we had to go and get him live rats, and that was like the worst part is like because you go to the shop and Carol's like, "Oh, which one do you want? This one or this one?" I'm like, "Oh no, they're all so cute. Why would you show them to me?" And then one time the snake that we fed it to didn't eat it, so then I just had a little rat for like 2 days, and I couldn't keep him. Ugh, just like the worst,
I'm gonna
the
make
worst.
myself sound like a psychopath now.
Yeah,
I also have a couple of snakes that are not eating, and I'm kind of going through that little battle of trying to transition them from live to frozen.
Mhm.
That being said, we are getting live every couple of weeks, and Danielle is kind of in the same point of view as you. She's like, "Oh, they're so cute," and
Yeah,
like playing with them right before we feed them, and I'm like, "Throw that thing in!" Like I want to, like I almost enjoy it seeing the kind of the battle. I mean,
you're
like it's this, but
psycho.
I'm a bit of a psychopath. I know, but it's so cool to watch them
It is
hunt
interesting to watch.
versus like here's your snake,
Yeah,
here's your rat, your meal is over.
yeah,
Like Taz, like my carpet python will go up, like if he's on the floor, he'll go up to the tree, to like his tree or whatever, like his
yeah.
higher up perches, and he hunts from on top, and he'll like follow it with it. It's so cool to watch
That's so
the
cool.
difference between live and frozen, and he takes frozen, but he is also our garbage disposal snake, so anything that doesn't get eaten he
Yeah,
gets to eat.
our carpets are that too. Our carpets are like if
They're
somebody doesn't
such
eat
great
even
eaters.
yeah, even like the berms, they eat everything, right? It's like
Yeah.
so convenient, especially Kratos, because Kratos only eats once every like 5 weeks or 6 weeks or something like that, because he eats like rabbits and like the largest rats we have, and he's actually in blue right now. But if somebody doesn't eat, like I'll feed them in the early evening and then I'll come back down to like double check that everybody ate so I don't walk into a gross smell the next day.
Yeah.
And if nobody ate anything, like if it's big, I'll feed it to Chris. If it's small, I'll feed it to one of the carpets or
Yeah.
someone else, but kind of convenient.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I used to yeah, I used to not feed him so that like he wouldn't get
Yeah,
his own
just in
rat, so
case.
like just in case somebody else didn't eat, and
I do
and
that too sometimes.
yeah, you're like you're the last one to eat just in case.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're such
Because
great
you
eaters,
can
really.
just like pull something out for them, right?
Yeah, worst case scenario, everything ate. It's like, all right, now you can eat,
Yeah.
But yeah, carpets are awesome. They're such great eaters. They're
I love them. They're so nice. We took some B-roll today, and Adam was like, "Okay, go get the bitey boy, noodle boy, whatever he is. He's around a rat snake, and he's kind of a dick.
yeah.
He just hasn't been like handled enough to be like handled. So I got bit by him about 3 or 4 times. And
Nice,
then
nice.
yeah, and then our blue tree monitor, he's still kind of like getting used to being handled. So like
Yeah,
when we first got him, he bit me right away and like got me like pretty good. But yeah, like he was trying to bite me again today, but he like definitely a lot less than what he was before, which is nice. But yeah, so I got a
yeah,
couple bites on me today, but not from my boy Fergus, the carpet, because he's a dog. So
yeah. When
yeah,
in reality, if you talk to most people, like that's the narrative that they sell is like carpet pythons. They're super nippy. They're aggressive. Blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah. And all these other animals you just listed are sweet angels. And in reality,
carpets are
well,
babies, like
carpets are
they're little
babies. Yeah,
bulldogs. Like
yeah. They really
I
are. They
remember
really are.
when we first got them, the guy that owns a reptile shop, he's like, yeah, the female's a little iffy, but the male is like pretty chill.
Great.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll tame them both down. Like I'm just like I'm the every time that Adam's like, oh, like this snake bites, I'll take it out and handle it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bite me, and he's always like, my wife is crazy. That's great.
I love that. I love that. So, do you handle your reptiles a lot? Because I assume having this many, it's kind of hard to give everyone like that's
Yeah,
my problem too. Is when I had
same.
10 years ago when I had the one crested gecko, that thing was like a dog because it's like
Yeah,
out 24/7, and then I started getting more and more reptiles, and now it's like I haven't
I haven't handled this one in like 4 months or whatever. Yeah. So how do you kind of
Yeah.
balance that out?
So it's funny
Yeah.
because with like the chiller ones, like even like the carpet, this is gonna sound crazy. I'll just put them around my neck and like do reptile work and stuff with them. So I'll just like spray enclosures down or fill water bowls or whatever it is. But like some of the animals, like the ones that Adam uses for videos and stuff, like Diamond and Frankie and all that, I don't handle them as much because Adam
They're-
handles them every time he's doing the videos.
Right.
So I like kind of divide that handling time up with the other animals because yeah, like even Frankie was kind of like hesitant to come out, but now that I've handled him more, he's like, I can go like this and feed him a cricket, and he's like, okay, sweet, and he'll eat from my hand.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you
So,
feed them a lot of crickets? Do you the Fijis? Do they get like what's the
um,
ratio of veggies to insects?
so they get like a full bowl of veggies, like the pictures that I usually post, and then with Frankie actually, I'll put the bowl of crickets like out, and I'll just let him pick his own crickets, which sounds like he's very dramatic and like pampered. Same with Diamond, like I'll just put it in there and like let them pick their own crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, this one looks nice. I'm going to eat that one, kind of thing.
Yeah. Buffet.
Let them have some sort of say in what they eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they only get like a few crickets because their main diet is like the grains and stuff, right? So I don't really give them too many crickets. I give them some of the frozen, like the dry freezed worms and stuff
Yeah.
on top of their like salads and stuff. So they do still
Hoppers.
get like that bug. Yeah, exactly right. They still get that like bug intake, which is nice. But the crickets are like fun because, like you said, with the carpet, right, where it like goes after the rat.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
it
so
goes
like
up. Yeah.
same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Frank is like obsessed with eating crickets. So if I put a couple crickets in Frank's enclosure, he just goes crazy.
Right.
Go hunt them, which is
Yeah.
fun because
And it's
it gives them
enrichment.
that like prey drive again, which is nice.
Yeah. And then so you guys also have Doug, the
Mhm.
regular, not the green iguana, not the regular
Doug the
iguana. That's the
Thug.
wrong way to say it. What's the difference in diet between Doug and Frankie?
Doug doesn't eat any bugs.
At
Doug
all?
is very much, yeah, like I put bugs in his things and he's like kind of picks around them. He doesn't really care for them. But more so he loves like fruits and stuff. And, like veggies, like if you put like peppers or blueberries and strawberries or bananas, like when I fed everybody today, I did like some bananas on the side because we had like bananas that went bad, and usually just toss them in the freezer to make banana bread. And then
Nice.
I literally have not made banana bread since Adam and I have been together. You know how many fucking bananas I have in my freezer right now? I had to throw a bunch of them out, but I'm like, okay, like I had to restock up my bananas, but now
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of bananas. So I took the bananas that the kids didn't eat and I just divided them between the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 herbivores, and yeah, they love it. Doug went for the bananas first today, so
That's interesting.
blueberries are usually his like first thing that he goes for. And the bananas were what he wanted today, apparently. So
Yeah. And so you said that he kind of prefers the fruit, like the bananas and blueberries and whatever. Does Frankie not have that kind of same preference? Like, will he go for the greens more so than the fruits, or like?
So he goes for the bugs first, and then he'll go for the greens.
Interesting.
Like I put less fruits in Frankie's, but I put more fruits in the tortoises and the in Doug because they just eat everything. They're like the vegetable compost for the reptile rooms.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then so you said, what was it, 7 herbivores in the room?
Yeah. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 7.
So first of all, when you go shopping, is that something you take into consideration? Like we have 7 herbivores, we got to buy specifically for them, or is it kind of just I'll buy extra and whatever they get, they get?
So sorry, there's 8. So it's 3 tortoises and then Doug in the side.
Right.
But yeah. So I'll just get like whatever. Adam will do like a grocery order, do the peppers and normal greens. And then when I cut up peppers, I'll keep like the tops and the bottoms of the peppers, and that'll be like their like treat basically, or whatever it is. So that's not really like anything extra veggie wise other than the actual greens itself. Like all the fruits and whatever else are like kind of extras that we have, just like kind of laying around.
Yeah.
Like if Theo is very bad for not finishing his whole apple,
Okay.
he just will eat like half an apple and be like, I don't really want this anymore. I'm like, okay, let's go feed it to the reptiles. So like sometimes I'll cut up some apples for them. Sometimes it's the peppers. Sometimes they get a mix of everything. Like Jack didn't finish his blueberries at school the other day. I gave him to the reptiles today.
Cool. Yeah.
Like it's just
And do you think that Jack and Theo have learned this? That like if I don't finish it, the reptiles will get it, and maybe they now are not finishing it on purpose so that they can feed them to the reptiles?
maybe. I never thought of it that way.
I mean, if I was their age, I'm still mentally their age, but like if I was
Yeah.
actually their age, and I realized that if I don't eat it, I get to watch reptiles eat it, I probably would be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I never thought about it that way, but that might be the case.
Yeah, so I don't know, just food for thought, haha.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it must get fairly. I don't have any herbivores. I'm very bad about my diet, like very bad, and so I barely eat fruits and vegetables. So I don't have any herbivores for that reason, because I
Yeah.
will go a while without having actual fruits and vegetables in my fridge.
Yeah.
So obviously you're taking them into consideration. Does it get quite expensive? Like I assume it's buying vegetables is more expensive than buying like crickets and worms and stuff. No.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think the price difference between going to the reptile store for crickets and worms versus getting greens is like almost $50-$60. Because the crickets and
Wow,
worms, like the worms we can
big difference.
refrigerate and I can keep them in the fridge for when I need them. But the crickets we only do, I think, once a week, and they just have like a bunch of them at once.
Yeah,
But like the veggies, like in the summer, it's a lot easier because we have the garden outside. So we'll grow everything ourselves. And then if like something's not growing right, then we'll go and buy some greens. But like we grow everything in the summer, which is very convenient. We should start it in the winter because we do have the greenhouse. But now that's kind of full with all the plants from outside. So maybe not. But the summer is definitely cheaper, I find, for I think almost everything, because it's like the winters here are so cold. Even hydro is like so much more expensive because we're using so much, right? But yeah,
yeah.
definitely cheaper in the summer for the greens. But every time we do groceries, we get greens because they eat constantly, right? So
I assume they eat more frequently than insectivores as well, right?
yeah, so it's like every day, every other day more so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not keep up with that.
And
I
it's
could not
not
keep up.
every day that they look as fancy as I make them.
Right. That's just for the content.
It's just for the content, yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, I just kind of whip it all together, but
Yeah.
it's usually, I feel like they eat better than I do sometimes.
I believe that. I believe that. I definitely put more consideration into like, I need to gut load my crickets, or like the preparation for the reptiles.
Yeah.
Definitely gets more thought than what I eat, especially when Danielle's not here, because I will just I'll just keep ordering food and eating burgers.
Yep.
If there
I was gonna
wasn't.
say it's funny because when we got together last time, she's like, he doesn't eat vegetables, and I was like, pardon? What? And then you're like, yeah, I'm really bad for that. I'm like, Potty, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm very, very bad about remembering to take care of me. So that's why I like when she's here. I'm like, I get to be healthy for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's very interesting. I definitely I think, wow, I just started a lot there. I think I would not keep herbivores unless A, she was doing it, or B, I
Yeah.
lived somewhere a lot warmer where I could keep them outdoor year round, and like you said,
Mhm.
kind of have things planted like next to or even in their enclosure. Although maybe if you plant them in their enclosure, they'll just keep eating them. So maybe
It's
not
funny
that, but
because the big enclosure that we have outside for the tortoises and dogs, a massive
yes.
whatever enclosure. So
Yeah.
we have the garden right in front of it, and if the plants grow somewhat into the enclosure, they'll just eat it,
Yeah.
which is convenient because then I don't have to go out there. But it's like
Self-feeding.
it's nice that everything is right there because I'll just break it off and toss it into the enclosure.
And do you know what kind of stuff you grow out there?
So we do dandelion, collard greens, bok choy. Sometimes we do bok choy. I do like more so that's like a store-bought thing. And then there's a red one. I forget what the red one is.
Cool.
Like a red leaf. But yeah, like everything it's just any sort of lettuce, any sort of leafy lettuce is
Yeah,
epic.
that's
So
cool.
yeah.
And
I
probably
think we're
fairly
gonna
easy to
do
grow.
yeah, and I think this year we're gonna do a bigger garden because like we just have now we have 3 more herbivores.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be more expensive.
Sorry, did you
and
say
more expensive.
berry garden or bigger garden?
Bigger.
Bigger. Okay. Okay.
But a bear garden would be nice too.
Yeah. Yeah. I assume I don't know how hard they are to grow, but I assume not that hard because
Mhm.
I think they're just bushes. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's very cool. So the giant the I was gonna say the elephant in the room because of the giant enclosure, but I don't know if that people wouldn't get it. Anyway, so the giant enclosure, that thing is
But
massive.
it's huge. It's huge. And everything is growing in so nicely. Here,
Yeah.
maybe I'll take you for a little adventure.
Yeah, please do. And to give people perspective, I don't know if you can actually judge from that, but like 4 of me's probably could fit in that comfortably. Like it's a very big enclosure.
It's huge. Like it's 6 feet by I think 8 feet. Yeah, it's massive. So all the plants are growing in really nicely. There's here, let me just set you back up first. Yeah. Everything is like starting to come together, which is nice. Like we just Adam keeps buying plants for it.
I noticed.
So it's getting a little excessive, but yeah, it's nice. Everything's like there's stuff mounted on the walls, there's stuff mounted to the wood, there's stuff. Yeah, there's a couple like bears patches that we had. So he got like some big plants off Marketplace and I had to crawl back there and get it put it in there because he can't reach it.
Yeah.
The
I
joys
see.
of being 6 feet tall.
Yeah. You do it.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
that's awesome. I was gonna ask because I see you I see you spraying like I see, oh, not I see you, but like you
Yeah. I know what you're saying. When I post
when
that
you
I'm
put the
spraying.
stories, there we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. You post stories very frequently of you kind of like spraying it down and whatever.
Yeah.
So, do you have it on a miskink or are you manually spraying it
So it is on
only?
misting. I think
Okay, cool.
there's 16 or 17, 16 or 18 nozzles in there, which is
Whoa.
insane.
Yeah.
So we had it on a different timer than the other ones. So sorry, the same timer as the ones on this side of the room.
Cool.
And it was getting oversaturated. Like it was so wet in there that everything was like all the plants were dying. Like all the animals were loving it, but all the plants were dying.
Right.
So we kind of mixed up some more substrate and stuff, like some drier stuff to kind of soak up all that moisture. And then we also turned down how often it sprayed and how long it sprayed. So now it only sprays in that enclosure, I think, for like 5 or 10 seconds every few hours.
Cool.
So then
Cool.
all the stuff that's kind of like mounted on the walls with like the moss and the the cocoa fiber or the cork is all stuff that I like go and manually spray because it doesn't get enough moisture.
Right, especially because it's mounted on the wall, it's probably draining a lot faster
Yeah.
than that makes sense. And so, how frequently do you have to do that?
I do it every day. So I'll go in and I'll literally empty out entire one of those big pumps. I'll
Just
empty
on
it.
that enclosure.
Yeah, like it's insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's
Yeah.
very cool. And that's the enclosure that you said at some point eventually you're going to put the emerald tree boas in and
Yeah.
some dart frogs.
So now that the male has passed away, because we were waiting for the male to get better, but he just was obviously not getting better.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for a stool sample from the female so we can take it to the vet and make sure that she's free of parasites before we bring her down and so nothing else gets infected.
Right.
But we've had her up there for over a year now, just in like quarantine, like both
Yes.
of them. But now that the male has passed and we don't have to worry about, him being sick, we're just kind of waiting for her to pass a dead rat, and then we will take that sample in and make sure that she's okay, and then we'll put her in there. Because the other ones that we have in the other room are way too big for the logs, like the branches that are all across it.
Okay.
I think they would just destroy it. They're too big.
Probably
But-
destroy the plants too.
Yes. Not that they're really like ground snakes during the day, more so at night. But yeah, there's too many like plants for them to just kill.
To just
So-
yeah. And some pretty nice plants too. It would be a
Like
shame.
expensive plants too. Like
Yeah.
I don't even like if I had to guess how much money is worth in there of plants, I couldn't even give you a guess.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
over like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I would not even try with some of those plants that you have in there.
Mhm.
I
I don't
definitely
like
agree.
one of the plants that we put in there was like a super fancy plant, and it's died because the Retex just destroyed it, and Adam was heartbroken. He was
Yeah.
so upset about it. I was like, "It's okay, babe. We can get another one." He's like, "That was like a $120 plant," and I was like, "That's disgusting. Why would you spend that much on a plant? Like that's
Yeah.
crazy."
So,
But-
sorry, what destroyed? Did you say Retix destroyed it?
So we had Retex in there first.
Okay.
So the Retex, and then we had some the white street frogs.
Okay, and it didn't
Yeah.
go well.
And they destroyed
It
everything.
destroyed everything. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like everything was fine, like being cohabbed, but because the Retex are so heavy, and they're also very much like ground snakes,
Yeah,
they just killed everything.
that
so.
makes sense. And they're bigger bodied than emerald tree boas too.
Yeah, and like the branches that we have in there, some of them are like older, like
Right.
they like have taken a beating with how much moisture they've gotten. So like I was like, these are gonna fall. Like we need to take these snakes out of here. We literally were like, okay, we're done with the Retex, and we sold them all,
Yeah.
which is
Wow.
nice because like I feel like if we're gonna have snakes that we enjoy, we should be able to handle them. Other than the emeralds, but like everything else we have, we can handle. So
Right. That makes sense.
mhm.
Yeah, I can't imagine keeping retics.
Yeah, no, they were a lot, and like so like food responsive too. Like they're just they're crazy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hold on. Let me
Hi Danielle.
let me remove the headphones.
Hi.
Hi. How's it
How's
going?
how's good? How are you?
Good. How's the
I
last
see that.
activity? Oh yeah, libations.
I see that Adam and you have been blowing up our Snapchat group chat. What's happening? How is Alfie?
Alfie's been screaming for the last hour.
I just texted Adam. I'm like, I was like, come join, like come pop in and say hi. And he's texting me. He was like, I'm nap trapped, dog.
It's true. He's sleeping now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, my phone's been like blowing up. Well, also my other phone because I'm a gangster. But
I got
Yes.
two
that's so funny.
phones.
I got two phones, one for the money and one for the hose.
Yes.
Or whatever Kevin Gates says.
Yes, Alfie is the no, don't call Alfie that. I called my nephew
He's
dad.
snoozing.
Yeah. How's the animal feeding going?
I got attacked by crickets.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
And then I took the water bowl out, and they were all hiding under there.
Nice. Oh,
That's
in the college? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, this is your first time on the podcast. Say hi to the listeners.
Hello, people.
Do you want an episode with Danielle? Let us know in the
Introduce us. Who is this?
This is I think I've introduced her before, but she just hasn't
Name
been.
dropped.
I've name dropped her
Yeah,
many
yeah.
times. She just hasn't been on.
Now
Actually,
it's
on,
name and face drop. Ooh.
yes, there you go. So
And
My
a
lady.
status face and a status drop too.
is that it's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
The girl. Yeah,
Glorified reptile feeder. It's fine.
that's actually the official title. The official
love
title.
it.
Let me
Baby.
get other work done while she
Yeah.
takes care of the reptiles now.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. And we were talking about how bad I am with vegetables. So Anne takes care of
Oh.
me.
You're like an
This
iguana.
is the best.
I'm the opposite of an iguana. I don't eat vegetables.
I know. I have to feed you them.
Oh yes.
Maybe
yes.
if I sprinkle some worms on them.
Some crickets.
Mmm.
I probably like that more
It's
than
true.
vegetables.
It's true.
That's
I
so
have
good.
tried chocolate with cricket powder in it, and it tasted like raisins. And I don't like raisins, but
Mm.
it tasted like raisins.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I
no.
saw one of my friends posted something being like, "Would you eat this?" And it was like freeze dried candied like mealworms or whatever it was. And then there's another one that was crickets, and I was like, "Who does that? Who eats that? That's disgusting."
I have tried. I've also it It's gonna become a thing. Okay, get used to it now. I've also tried a lollipop with scorpion inside.
I tried caterpillars in South Africa.
Interesting. I think the craziest thing that I don't even know the craziest thing I've tried. I don't like seafood. I'm not a seafood person.
Me neither.
I'm not.
That's unfortunate.
Me neither. I'll eat shrimps, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay. And on that note, Trish, thank you very, very, very much for coming on. We'll definitely have to have you on again. Maybe as the breeding projects progress, you can keep us updated on what's happening in the Wickens household. Maybe we'll have Adam on at some point too. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we'll see. But yes, thank you very much. Trish,
Thank
can
you
you
for
let the
having me.
listeners know, if they're not already, where they can find you?
WW Redhead on Instagram. Sorry, WW Redhead _ on Instagram.
Nice.
And then I think I'm going to be starting a YouTube Shorts. So
Woo!
post it on that.
Girl.
Nice. So you will find those links in the description, and you're probably already subscribed to Adam. But in case you're not, you'll find Adam's channel in the description as well. Go
Heck yeah.
give the Wickens family a follow, a subscribe. We love them very much. You should love them very much.
Especially
And
Alfie.
Especially Alfie.
Alfie,
He's the star.
obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. And yeah, thank you, Trish. And thank you everyone else for listening. We will see you on the next one.
Bye.